Hey, everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim Scott. This is ResortLoop.com, the gateway to the magic. Thrilled to be joined by a couple members of our Resort Loop Roundtable. Hang on, Mr. the original Super Looper. Your name threw me off, Mr. Joe Quattrochi.
Tim, what's going on, brother? It's been a long time, so I can see why it's thrown you off a little bit. But good to be back on the show. Good to be back at the roundtable here with the Resort Loop crew. And yeah, man, life is good. How you been?
I've been great. I'm surprised I remember my own name, to be honest with you, and I didn't think of any word title that I have. Also joining us on the show, Mr. Brad Coates.
Hey, it's good to be here. Yeah, I'm already starting to pack for my third Disney cruise in since we went on ours. So it's been 3 months, three cruises.
Oh, it's been
3
too
months.
long. I'm glad to see you're getting out there again.
Oh my gosh, I'm actually kind of over it. I love Disney cruises, but three that fast, it's like I don't need to just.
First world problems, right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I don't have another dinner at Palo or anything like that. Heaven forbid.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought this would be a good episode. We don't really want to talk about news. I thought maybe we just catch up briefly what everybody's been doing in the Disney sphere of things for their personal enjoyment, maybe some vacations or whatever they'd like to talk about, so we can all catch up. So let's start with Mr. Joe Quattrochi. Joe, what have you been doing recently?
So yeah, Disney-wise, Tim, for me, I always love Marathon Weekend. So it's down in Walt Disney World for Marathon Weekend, down there with the DDP Today crew, and had a lot of fun. Participated in the half marathon. As you guys all know, the half marathon was rained out. So it was 7.1 miles, not 13.1, but still a lot of fun. Really felt bad for a lot of my friends who this was like their first time doing a Run Disney event. And I even had some friends from Long Island, New York that flew down. This was their first ever half marathon. And they were kind of really bummed about it. But, the weather kind of got really bad overnight. And it was going to be in the morning. It was going to get really bad. So they kind of canceled it. Put Run Disney in a really bad spot. But it was fun. I mean, we had a good time with our crew down there, and the weather was great. Besides the race morning, right? It was good weather, but that was a lot of fun. Wasn't my best performance, right? Wasn't in the best shape, so I think I got a little bit of a reprieve there. I think somebody was looking out for me. I mean, I could have finished the half; that would have been no problem, but not at the level that I'm accustomed to be. But need to get back into shape. I'm being talked into dopey for next year, and I really don't want to do it. I've been there, done it. I've talked about it with you guys here on the, on Resort Loop and stuff. I really just wanted to actually just do the marathon itself. I have a little bit of time to decide what I want to do for next year, but that's a lot of fun. Another thing also that I got was I thought a really cool experience, Tim, was a couple of my friends are cast members down in Disney World. One's in accounting and one is an electrician at one of the resorts. And I was invited to I guess the Disney cast, they have like I always forget the name of this, Tim, but it's like the camp counselors for cast members, if that makes any kind of sense, right? It's they do like activities for the cast members for like to build morale, and it's like a recreation kind of group, whatever. And they put on this cast member like a scavenger hunt and trivia contest that was held at Animal Kingdom after hours. And the name of it was called Goofy's Cyber Mystery Tour 2024. And there were over 300 teams of four, which each had 4 participants. And each team could have 3 cast members and could have 1 non-cast member guest. And I was invited to go and participate. Really cool. We met, first of all, we all met beforehand and had dinner at Rick's Lounge over at Coronado Springs. Great place to watch a game. With the Super Bowl coming up, great place to watch the Super Bowl if you're staying at Coronado Springs or in that area. Revamped menu. Obviously, when they redid all the modifications at Coronado Springs, they redid a lot of the restaurants. Pepper Market's been redone. I'm sure you guys all know that, but Rick's is a really good spot. It's a nice little. It's kind of like the new Olivia's. A lot of cast members go there. It's kind of out of the way, right? Which is good. You can always get a table, so it's a good spot. But we had a little bit of dinner there, kind of relaxed. Headed over to Animal Kingdom, got checked in. And the whole event, Tim, was located over on the right side over in Dinoland, USA. And they used the Ariel Theater, the Nemo Theater, whatever it is over there, as like the hub and the staging area for this event. And I'll tell you, man, it's a serious event when they're given the rules. And the rules, all the trivia questions, there was 75 trivia questions. You had 33 minutes to answer them, and everything was done on your phone. And like, dude, they're like serious. They've got like everybody else had to put their phones in like these bags and seal them up. You could only use one phone. You couldn't Google anything. And all of the questions were verified by the Walt Disney Archives. So this
Wow.
was like, there was no like, hey, I'm a super Disney fan. That's not right. No, these were like verified by the Walt Disney Archives. So like, this was like legit. So a lot of fun. The questions were not super crazy. We did pretty well on the questions. And then it turned into a scavenger hunt where you had these like 12 different puzzles, and they were hard. I mean, I did okay with a few of them. You work together as a team, and then you had to run outside and like find different volunteer cast members and like do different like physical challenges and stuff. And you had like 2 hours to do that, and then you had to submit, and like they gave you like clues once you like completed the specific challenges, and eventually turned into like one final answer. And it was hard, but in the middle of all that, guys, it like downpoured on us, of course. So like we were like soaking wet. It got to the point where we were just like, we had enough. We're like, we don't care. There's like 2 or 3 puzzles we didn't finish, but in typical Disney fashion, love this part. This is just typical. Doesn't matter if it's guests or if this is cast member events. We're in the theater, and I guess they were using some sort of like Microsoft document or whatever to do this event. Everybody goes to submit their answers, and the system crashes.
There you go.
And so if you did not write down your answers, which we did, and we were just kind of putting them in the phone and like kind of saving them as we went along, they were gone. So a lot of people were just like, whatever, it doesn't matter. There was only gonna be one winner anyway. So people just got up and left. So I kind of felt bad for the people running it. They're like, just do the best you can. So that was kind of, but that was kind of fun. That was a really cool event to see. It's cool to be like on the cast member side of it. And the funny thing is that the people that were running this, and they had some of the Walt Disney World ambassadors there as well. They like talk to you like you're a guest. It was like the tone and the demeanor were nothing different. Were not even different from when you're a paying customer. So it's the same thing. The way they treated their cast members. So that was actually really cool to see cast members, mostly like, a lot of them were college students and stuff. Really nice people. Everybody's very friendly. So that was really a lot of fun. I was really excited to be asked to be a part of that. Last thing, Tim, just to kind of go over it with, I was just talking to you guys about it, is a couple of my friends who are traveling, just to know, Tim, you're in that business as well. They're going down for a travel agent conference in a couple of weeks, staying at the Grand Floridian, and they asked if I wanted to come and crash with them. And I said, absolutely. I take a couple of days off. Maybe play some golf with them down there. So they got to do a couple of their official travel agent things while they're there, but that doesn't mean I can't go and have some fun while they're kind of doing that. So I'm going to kind of crash that for a day or two. So spending a little bit more time down in Disney World. That was one of my New Year's resolutions this year. We had a episode on DDP today where we had our Disney New Year's resolutions, and mine was to be a little bit more engaged. The last year or two, I kind of got I would go, but not really. Like, I would just kind of wing it. I want to be a little bit more involved in my trips, be in the parks a little bit more, use my annual pass a little more.
Okay.
They made it a little bit more easier to use it. So I'm trying to do that, take advantage of those times when, I can take off from work and just go and have some fun. And, so yeah, so it's a lot going on the last month here in January, but it's been exciting. And, we'll see what the rest of the spring brings.
Joe, do you think your trips this year will be like day trips where you'll go back home at night, or spend the night somewhere over in the Disney bubble?
Well, for the first time, Tim, the last year or two, we've actually banked a lot of our DVC points. We've used all of our DVC points this year. Got a bunch of different things coming up. There'll be a lot of weekend trips. Okay. For example, my niece is singing or dancing. They have the Advent Hell stage down in Disney Springs. You always see Eddie Maserati dancing down there, at the same time. They always have performers and bands, and they have, school performers and stuff in groups.
Yes.
My niece, I believe, is so my niece is going to be dancing or performing or doing something. So we got 2 rooms booked at Saratoga Springs that weekend. We got another weekend where we're doing I plan on doing Wine and Dine half marathon. I've never done that race. So the whole DDP crew, we're going to be doing that race as a group as well. So I got a room booked for that. So, and then a couple of those small little trips in the summertime. So yeah, I mean, a lot more like little weekend jaunts, a couple of days here and there. Not as much in the middle of the week, but it also depends on my wife's work schedule too. But yeah, I got some things planned, and should be a good exciting year.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah,
man, you're starting January strong. Your trip.
Yeah, man, I'm off and running. It's like so.
Oh, excellent. So, Brad,
yes,
what have your things been looking like recently?
So, yeah, for me, it's been a kind of a evolution in my whole Disney focus, and in Disney experiences. You know, you guys, everybody's heard me tell the stories of my youngest daughter's 24 now. She's done one thing, minimum one thing every year of her life. That was Disney Cruise, Disney World, Disneyland, Aulani. You know, we're always doing Disney. But over this last year, we've kind of transitioned. Both the kids are married. They're off on their own. So the big family trips were getting fewer and farther between until there's grandkids. Things will change up. But but in the meantime, it's just different. And as a travel agent, you know, we have opportunities for special deals and things for travel. And so it just got to the point for me where I had an opportunity to sell my points, my DVC points. I figured I was going to hand them to my kids one day, and through a series of things that my wife decided that she really wanted to start to do, she's really fallen in love with doing all inclusives and things. So we actually sold our DVC points. So for a while, we knew things are going to be a little bit different. We won't be necessarily going to the parks as much as we've done in the past. And unlike Joe, you know, Joe, you're right there. So it's easy. Just hop down and go to the park. But, you know, when Tim and I go to the park, it's like, it is a
commitment.
full-blown, it's a commitment. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, my airfare right now, it's minimum $500 for each of us, minimum, if I get a good price to get there.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
For one
all the
of
way.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 1,000 for both of us, just an airfare. And it's like, so didn't plan it this way, but then suddenly this guy named Tim decided to plan a Resort Loop cruise.
Who knew?
And that started the ball rolling. And so we had a great opportunity to join Tim and a bunch of our super loopers on that cruise. We had such a good time. And by the way, Joe, I get that. You need to work on that for 2025. You need to be on that cruise with us this time, buddy.
I'll tell you, so I've talked about this before. Like, I was never a cruise person. Like, I was not a cruise. I was like, cruises, I thumb my nose at it. And we did our DDP cruise 2 years ago. It was an Independence of the Seas Royal Caribbean, and I fell in love with cruising. And the worst part, guys, is that, you know, we've only really done Royal Caribbean, right? I did Carnival when I was a kid. I don't really count that. But my wife and I like to gamble. So we're getting like all these free cruise offers, like where you pay just like the cruise fees. And we actually did one of them, and it was great. So we've done 3 so far. So I've fallen in love in cruising. Jen loves it too. It's another, and it's become so popular now as well. I mean, like, I know you guys have always done Disney cruises, but Royal Caribbean, especially being based here in Florida, like, they're advertising all over the television, especially with Icon of the Seas coming out. But it's so much fun. I mean, it really is. I mean, so I can understand how much fun it really is. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I think the game plan still, right, Tim, is to try to get something booked on the Treasure after.
Yes, once the next summer comes out, which would be 2020, what are we in now? 2025?
2025. Yeah. Yep. So
anyway,
we'll see.
Announced. Yes.
We'll get it out there. We'll get Joe there. We'll get our others, and then we could do a podcast from the cruise. We'll have you so busy hanging out with us, you won't have time to. You won't miss the gambling.
I've never done a Disney cruise, so it's my brother and my sister-in-law are going on. What's the newest ship? I get them all confused. The newest ship.
Wish.
Yeah, that one. She's going. She's like super stoked, and she's like a big Disney nut. So they're like really looking forward to that. So, but I will get, I'm sure, all the pictures and all the you know, all the details from that. And so,
well, that's the one we were on for the Resort Loop cruise, was the Wish, and it's a nice ship. And so anyway, we went on that cruise, and then my wife saw videos and stuff that I showed her of the Wish, and she decided, well, I've got to see the Wish. I haven't done the Wish. Well, how about me? What am I? You know, sliced bread. What's up?
Yikes.
And so scheduled another Disney Wish cruise for our anniversary coming up in 3 weeks. Well, I found out that Disney was doing short cruises out of Galveston, which is close enough for me to actually drive to that port. It's close. Okay. So, and that one's tough because, you know, it's not Port Canaveral. It's not Miami. It's not like you can throw a rock and hit Bahamas, right? You got to go clear across the Gulf of Mexico to get to a port. So you're usually a 2-day sail just to get there. So
I
when
like
they
sea
said,
days though.
yeah, well, it was
Oh,
great. Yeah.
I love sea days. I mean, so
Especially gambling, because then everything's wide open. So there you go.
I'll tell you, Brad. I'll tell you real quick. I know I apologize for interrupting you, but
It's okay.
we had we sailed Port Canaveral to Coco Key to Aruba, Curacao, and then back. But it was 2 days to get down to Aruba,
Yeah.
and I loved actually just sitting on the front of the ship, and it was the adults only area, like the solarium, and I just sit there with my Kindle and read. And I literally was sat there for hours with the breeze going through my head, through my hair and stuff. I loved it. And I sat on this chair for so long that I actually like bruised like my tailbone. My wife's like, "You hurt yourself relaxing," because all I did, I would
I
sit
hurt
there from like
myself
9.
relaxing.
I hurt myself relaxing. I sat there from like 9 a.m. to like dinner time.
Oh my
You have
gosh.
lunch out there too,
That's
and
funny.
it was beautiful. And it was my favorite thing. I loved the sea days because I could literally, for like the first time, like different than being on a beach, different than being in a theme park, there was nowhere to go. I just sat there and relaxed. It was amazing. But yeah, that was my favorite thing. So that's why I love sea days. So it's not always a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing.
I'm going to give you a heads up though, since you brought it up. Be careful with that, because I used to let the breeze run through my hair, and look what happened.
Oh my.
No,
Yeah.
starting to. I'm getting older every. Hey, we've been doing this podcast for a long time. It's not as it's a little thinner and I'm a little heavier. So it's like I gotta change that. So
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I love sea days too. So when I saw that they were actually doing a shorter cruise out of Galveston, they're doing short cruises, and I'm like, how are they going to do that? So I thought, you know what, I'm going to try that. You know, I'm a good travel agent. I suffer for them, so
Someone's
I can
got to do
learn.
it.
Yeah, I booked a cruise to Progreso, Mexico. Was the only port it went to. I've never been to
Nueva
Progreso.
Progreso.
Yeah, never been there.
Nueva Progreso.
Yeah.
Progreso is Texas. Nueva Progreso. I used to have a friend who used to work on the Progreso side. That's why.
Yeah. So I decided to do it. So I went on a cruise literally by myself. My wife didn't go with me. I went down and cruised down to Progreso and enjoyed my sea days and experienced a brand new port and brand new experience on the Disney ships. And the other cruise lines are starting to do the same thing out of Galveston with shorter cruises. So I did that cruise. And now I'm waiting on going on the third cruise here in 3 weeks. And we actually had another cruise booked for the fall on Royal Caribbean on the new ship on one of their short ones. And we actually canceled that one because we were just like, I guess I got to do something different besides cruising.
The short cruises, I don't know if you guys thought this, Brad or Tim, but like we found that we did one short cruise out of, it was a weekend one. It was one of the free ones we got for the casino.
Right.
And it was such a different experience because it essentially was like a booze cruise.
Right.
Because it was such a short cruise.
Yeah.
And like Royal Caribbean's obviously a different clientele than the Disney cruise, right? I mean, people aren't going on a Disney cruise to get hammered. I mean, and have a party. They're not doing that. So, or at least most of them aren't. So it was almost too much. But then like we were on the longer cruises, the 8-night cruise or 8-day cruise to Curacao and Aruba, and it was like older demographic, chill, getting dressed up, not like the let's see much I could drink and within 24 hours kind of crowd. So the shorter cruises make me nervous now.
Right.
Because it was fun, but it was not the best experience. And actually, it's funny, Brad, you're saying I'm loyal to Royal, same company, but we're actually looking at trying to go to Celebrity now, maybe Norwegian. We almost want a little bit more of like the elegance a little bit. Like we're kind of like, okay, the water slides are cool and everything, but maybe I just want like nicer shows and like a little bit chiller at night, you know? So we're looking at the Celebrity now and even maybe Norwegian or something. So we're maybe kind of elevating our, not that we loved Royal, but like we just maybe something a little different, you know? So,
well, if you have any questions or you need to pick our brains, I've done Norwegian 3 or 4 times. We actually have that one scheduled for 2025 for our first Alaska cruise is on a Norwegian. So I love them all. I just love to cruise. So I'm good. But it sounds to me like you and I went on the same ship. What was the ship you took for the 8-day to Aruba?
Oh, Harmony of the Seas.
Yeah. Carrie and I took that same one.
Great ship, man. Great ship.
Last February.
Harmony was awesome. So, yep.
I got to scuba dive down in Curacao. That was my last scuba dive. I loved that cruise. That was
Curaçao's an interesting place.
ABC Islands. That's the real.
Never been to Bonaire. Been to Aruba many times. We got my parents have timeshare there, but Curacao was awesome. Much different than Aruba. People were super friendly, super nice. I wish we'd have spent more time there. But you know, always go back.
So here's the other side of it, and you know, and I was absolutely you. we had done multiple shorter cruises when we first started because we don't know if I like cruising, so let's take the short cruise and make sure we don't get sick. And that's usually when my clients want to do a short cruise, right, Tim? Is because I don't know if I can survive a cruise.
Right.
Do you have anything where I can go out for a little while and then I won't die and get stuck out there? So we'd done a couple of dream cruises and they were good, but there's just so much, you can get so much more into it and you really decompress so much more on longer cruises. However, I've gained a new love and appreciation for 3-day cruises now that I've done more than them, because the reason why we're doing those short cruises is for us, it's really the only way I can do them right now with my wife. She only gets 2 weeks of vacation a year.
Gotcha.
I get 5. So what we're doing is, and she works for a title company, so she gets bankers' holidays off. So all of our 3-day cruises are happening on holiday weekends.
You gotta get creative a little bit. So.
Yeah, so we're getting creative. She's only having to use 1 or 2 vacation days. But what's happened is we've now kind of leaned in and started to get a rhythm on the short cruises to realize, you know what? I won't be focused on so much of these other things. I won't worry about hitting all the shows that I've already seen. We get the thermal pass. We spend every day in the thermal suite. we chill, we relax, we get off from the port for a little while if we maybe, or we just stay on the ship. And so we just do it differently, but we've actually grown. I still prefer longer cruises. I like the 7-day. I love the 8-day. That was such a, but part of that was just because of where we went, that was just too cool. I did one that was a 7-day to down there once on Disney, but it sailed out of Puerto Rico. So we were already halfway there. So then we got down to the little islands quickly. Yeah. So, but anyway, so now we're heading out on a cruise coming up here in 3 weeks on the Wish. And I've already booked my placeholder, waiting for Tim to give me a date for the Treasure.
Right.
And then we did, this isn't Disney related. So, but we do have an all-inclusive trip scheduled for Puerto Vallarta in May with my mother-in-law and my 2 sisters-in-law and my wife and me. We're going down there to just kind of do a family thing there. And then we
a lot of X chromosome you're traveling with. A lot of X chromosome.
Well, and I just got permission from my wife. I said, now one of the days, you're cool. I'm going to go scuba diving without you. Okay, you guys hang out, do whatever you want. I'm going scuba. She said,
you're outnumbered, man.
Yeah. But so, and that's a nice thing with all inclusives. I can get away from them, so it's all good. But and then we actually rescheduled what we had scheduled for the Royal Caribbean cruise. Just my wife and I in the fall are going to, we've not tried any of the all-inclusives down in Cancun. So we're going down to Secrets Akumal, Riviera Maya in the fall. Nice. So that's kind of my year. I got a lot of travel scheduled.
Yeah, you do.
But it's just, we're just kind of stepped back from so much of the Disney. We're not doing the Disney park thing. We're just, I love it. I'm and in a year or so, they'll have some new stuff and then I got to go. I haven't done that yet. So,
gotcha.
But right now I'm good. We're kind of stepped away from. So how about you, Tim? What you guys got going?
Well, I was just going to bring up, I wasn't going to do a full, Resort Loop group cruise thing, but I just want to mention going with people, that have listened to the show and that are friends of the show was just a fantastic time.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. My wife was shocked at how nice they were. Not honestly shocked, but she had never talked to like a lot of people where I have in the group before, but not all. And she was like, "You never could have got this many people together and had such a great time. Never would have thought it would have been happening." She can't wait to do it again.
That's awesome. Yeah, it was. I agree. I mean, we kind of talked to the folks. You probably are more engaged with them than I ever have been. But to connect with them and start to hear their stories and get that sense and to feel that that community, that feel that's there.
Yes.
It really reinforces what a pleasure it is to be a part of a place called Resort Loop.
Oh, thanks. I wasn't fishing for a compliment. I was just
I'm just telling you,
to reiterate how much fun we had.
Like I saw it, I didn't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't
No,
forget
please
to send me
stop.
my money. You know,
Stop.
that's my YouTube plug. I
Stop.
need some cash. But it was just, wasn't, it was just fun. And these people, you know, was like, wow, I love your story. I love that sense of why you're into Disney and why
Yeah.
you're connected. And it wasn't like they told us their life stories, but just the time we spent together. I mean, you'd be walking around, you'd be on shore, and suddenly you weren't even with them, and you'd see me, you know, suddenly you're with them and hanging out for a little while. And it was a lot of fun.
Dinners were great. We all had dinner together, so we didn't
Mhm.
hang out constantly together.
No, no, we did our own things most of the time.
Yeah. Oh, get
But
together dinner. Dinners are fantastic. They were fun. Catch up on what everybody did during the day.
and then run into each other because that happened all the time.
It did.
It's always fun to run into somebody on the boat, right? You know, and I think the greatest thing about, you know, everybody, all these podcast communities, right, is that to me is like, you know, growing up, I was a big Disney World geek, right? Disney geek. And it was kind of like you didn't want to tell anybody about it. Now it's cool, like geek out with everybody else. It's okay. And then you can cruise or go on vacation with all of your friends that you've met over the internet, and it's cool and geek out with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have that in common with, you know, you can sit and talk with a complete stranger you don't know, and like, oh, we're part of the same community, and like, what do you love most about you? DVC owner, me too. What's your favorite resort? And like that's it. It's just
Exactly.
you create friendships.
Exactly.
We've done it. We've done it all right here. How many years ago did we all meet? We're still doing the show together. We still
Yes.
talk all the time. I mean, it's just an amazing, really cool thing, you know. And like I said, I got to experience that for the first time. Well, actually, no, Tim, when you and Bob, we had our meetups down in Disney World back in 2016. That was amazing. That was my first experience meeting, like, yeah, I still get those Facebook memories, which is awesome. I still talk to Florence, still, you know, I mean, Florence and Dave Koch and, you know, Brittany and Justin. I mean, there's so many people we still talk to. Obviously, Rebecca, you know, and Brad, you know, but it's like, it's amazing. So to take that to the next level and do like a cruise and stuff like that and see your friends on board the ship and enjoy dinners and share memories, it's a pretty cool experience. Yeah.
It was amazing. And boy, I hope the next one we get a lot more of our Resort Loop people that'll just come out and join us. That's why we do the shorter Disney. Honestly, we'd rather do a 7-day, but it's, of course, unfortunately with the treasure, it's going to be 7. So it's going to be more expensive, but
it'll be 7. It'll be more expensive, but we have a little bit of, you know, heads up to maybe start planning for it. But
yeah, I love what you said, Joe, because you know what? I love this community that you guys gave me the greatest honor to join into the community you already had. I wasn't part of you guys. I wasn't part of the DVC Roundtable. I just got asked one time to be a part of it, and then you invited me into your world, and it's so much fun to do these podcasts with you guys. But there's just something amazing about when we met, Joe. We've been together one time for the run.
Temporary.
Yep. At the run weekend at the Wave. With you and Rebecca. I don't think Emily was there. I think it was just Rebecca.
Just Rebecca, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, we only spent hour and a half, 2 hours together, but it just, when you're face to face and it's a different experience. So anyway, all that to say, huge plug. Everybody out there, start planning for 2025.
Well, thanks. And I will say on the ship, I wasn't the first one to bring up, you know, we should do this again either. I heard it from multiple people.
Everybody.
That we need to do this again.
So anyway, back to Tim. We stole his thunder. What are you up to for this year?
Don and I are going to do a full cruise review, so I don't want to spoil anything there. But we're going to have another trip coming up later this spring, I believe. So more details on that later. So we're kind of excited about that. That's going to be kind of a graduation type gift for my daughter. We're all going to go.
Cool.
So that'll be fun. Looking forward to
all
that.
The kids are growing up. All the kids are growing up. Bob's kids are growing up. Tim, your kids are growing up. Everybody's kids are growing up. Brad, your kids are all married and stuff. It's crazy.
I keep thinking at some point down there, I'm going to run into Bob at the Polynesian because I'd always run into him at the Polynesian down there.
And actually, I'm like 10 years younger now than I was when we started this. I don't know how that worked.
You look fantastic.
I'm going the other way. Everybody else is getting old, and I just. Oh, that is a lie. That's a lie.
We're all wearing glasses now, so obviously that's the sign of things to come. So
here in a minute, if I get up from this chair, you know I'm lying because I'll start making that old man noises.
Oh, I love these roundtable shows. My only thing for this year is we're going to do more of them.
Yeah,
let's do it. Yeah, we're always around, man.
I know
you. And Tim, I know, like, and I'm sure everybody, you know, in Resort Loop knows this. Like, it's hard to like round up people. Like, everybody's schedules are all different and stuff like that. We're all doing like other things and family commitments and travel and stuff. So, like, you know, I'm sure, you know, as part of the roundtable, I speak for Brad and and Rebecca as well, and Emily. Like, we appreciate everybody. Like, we haven't been on in a while, right? But it's hard to like get us all together and stuff. So we appreciate your patience and everything, because we enjoy doing these too. I mean, it's a ton of fun, and we enjoy like getting together, and yeah. So, but yeah, I'm all for it, Tim. I mean, like I said, just let us know and we'll jump on. And also, it's gonna be great because we have a lot of things going on. A lot of DVC stuff. The Poly's gonna be opening up. The cabins are coming.
Yeah.
So even on the DVC side, there's gonna be a lot going on. And honestly, even with the other park up the road, a lot of going on there too. So it's gonna be exciting in Orlando. So it's I know it's a Disney show, but
no,
I got a Universal Annual Pass too, and it's fun to pop over there every once in a while and do some other things. So it's lots going on in Orlando. It's very exciting. So
absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, guys, thank you very much. Unfortunately, Rebecca couldn't be here. I don't know if we mentioned that off the top, but she was planning on being here. She's actually down in the parks, and schedules didn't just line up. So. Oh, sounds like a reason for a trip report next time we talk to her, though, guys.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
We can't wait 6 months though for the trip report. Though.
No,
we gotta do it. We gotta do it sooner. Though.
We'll aim for next month.
Fresh.
How's that?
Yeah.
I like it. So,
all right, Joe, where can people find you? I know you have another show that you're on.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, I'm on DDP Today. Do a show over there. I got my own show, Split Stays, which is on the same DDP Today feed. We did like once a month. It's all about the DVC resorts, Universal resorts, resorts in Orlando. But DDP Today, I'm on there weekly, and also on Instagram at Joe Quat. I really don't use Twitter anymore, so I'm not even gonna throw it out there. So
Right.
Instagram at Joe Quat, Quat Joe on Facebook. You can find me. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the next show. Tim, good to be back, man. It's good to be here with you guys.
Thanks, Joe. Brad, what about you?
And I'm kind of, that was another thing that kind of coming into the end of this year, I'm kind of backed up in so many of the different areas where I used to be plugged in. So this is the only podcast that I'm connected to. I was willing and ready to get rid of the others. I just don't want to finish this one because I love hanging out with you guys. But I'm doing this. I pop into our Resort Loop Facebook page. I'm at Family Fun Travels by Brad on Facebook, and honestly, that's pretty much. I once in a while my Instagram will pop up that Joe Quat said something, but I don't ever put anything on there. I'm just not.
I'm usually at a racetrack or
that's true. Yeah,
so it's like...
and it's it's simple. Part of the reason is because God has been really good. This last year, the travel agency side of what I'm doing, which is my hobby job, has really taken off, and so. My extra time that I have is it's sucked up. So
right.
That's where I am,
Gotcha.
hanging out in front of my computer, dreaming for somebody else, and then planning my next trip because clearly
spending
I'm
somebody
still
else's
taking
money.
a lot.
There you go.
So, but anyway, reach out to me at Resort Loop on Facebook, and that's best place to find me.
Awesome, Joe, Brad, thank you very much. I'm Tim Scott. You can always find us over at that website, ResortLoop.com. Don't forget about our private Facebook group, Looper Nation Live. We're over there. If you'd like to join that, that'd be fantastic. Everybody, you've been listening to the Gateway to the Magic.
See you, everybody.
See you guys.